Here's your Spurs news roundup, providing you the latest top news all in one place in the last 24 hours, and also dissecting every single story, giving full analysis. If you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. Let's get straight into it then. So your top news in the first part of the video, analysis comes in the second part. So Team Talk report that Tottenham made initial contact with Manchester United yesterday about signing Kobbie Mainoo. Manchester United are reluctant to sanction any potential departure. Fabrizio Romano says it's official. Xavi Simons joins Tottenham on a €60 million fixed fee from RB Leipzig. 5-year deal until 2030, plus a 2-year option to extend to 2032. Next, Fabrizio Romano says that Tottenham make approach with Manchester City for Manuel Akanji, one of 3 names on Tottenham's shortlist. AC Milan are also in talks over the defender. They're ready to pay £15 million fee, but still in talks over personal terms. Tottenham and Milan both want a centre-back before the end of the window. Luka Vušković has joined Hamburg SV on loan for the 25-26 campaign. Thomas Franke spoke about Champions League draw, saying, overall I thought it was an okay draw. Sometimes draws can look very bad on paper or really good, but it depends how we perform against them. They're massive games of the season, so they will be tough. Thomas Franke said he's enjoying his start to life at Tottenham Hotspur. Frank said, I'm very happy here. I knew before it was a great club, but getting to know fans, players and staff, I'm very happy. Rada Dragusin will return to first team training in around 7 to 10 times time, Thomas Frank confirms. The Romanian defender has been out since January after injuring his ACL in the Europa League win over Elfsborg 8 months ago, so he's nearly back. Thomas Frank spoke about Richardson's Brazilian call-up. Frank said, very happy for Richie, it's well deserved. 3 strong games and 3 strong performances. Of course, playing for Brazil is big. The fitter he will get, and stronger he'll be, so that's a positive. Next, Tottenham head coach Thomas Frank says that defender Destiny Udogie is available for selection for Spurs' Premier League game against Bournemouth at home on Saturday. Thomas Frank has ruled Yves Bissouma out of Tottenham Hotspur's Premier League match against Bournemouth. Thomas Frank said the team news is we have a new England national team player, Spence. How good is that? Big credit to Jed. What a journey. It shows everything is possible if you are resilient and get through tough spells. Football Insider report that Pep Guardiola has urged Manchester City to price Tottenham Hotspur out a move for summer transfer target Sevilla. The player will only be sold if an irresistible bid is made by Spurs for the end of the transfer window on Monday. Team Talk report that Tottenham Hotspur made initial contact with Manchester United about Kobbie Mainoo, and the United is still reluctant to sanction any potential departure. So, although this is posted a lot later in the first update at Kobbie Mainoo, we're basically hearing a very similar thing. Mirror Football report that Tottenham Hotspur have not ruled out signing a second attacking player after they complete a deal for Xavi Simons. They're not done here. Next report from Team Talk states that Tottenham Hotspur remain in contact with Manchester City to sign Sevilla in an event a transfer can be revived. Manchester City still do not want to sell, but there is suspicion within Spurs that they are continuing to search for potential replacements. The player continues to want the move, which is encouraging Spurs to continue pushing for a deal. Paul O'Keefe reports that Tottenham Hotspur are still aiming to be active before Monday's transfer deadline day and are looking to sign a centre-back and another forward, another attacking player in the forward area. This is even after Xavi Simons. Thomas Frank has spoken about Tottenham's midfield balance, saying, I think it depends on the game and the other players around. If we have a very offensive 10, we need a little bit in behind, for example, so it depends on the construction of the midfield. Thomas Frank refuses to look beyond the Bournemouth clash, saying, right now I'm 100% focused on doing well tomorrow. All the players will then go away and play for their countries. Then we'll be ready to kick on again, and I'm looking forward to that. Thomas Frank on his style of play, saying I'm very clear on the principles, but I think you can tweak it with a system and within a system. I'm very open there. With the coaching staff backing me, we can find good solutions. Thomas Frank has spoken about the Bournemouth clash, saying we have a strong plan to try and win tomorrow. We have a big belief that we are able to do so. We face a very good team. They continue to produce good performances. I've watched their games. They're very good. They play through the lines and behind you, so it's difficult to defend and press. They have had a very good season last year. We need to show them huge respect. If we come out with the energy and positive feeling we have, I'm confident we win the game. Thomas Frank spoke a bit further about the midfield options, saying, I think we have very good midfield. I like the 6 midfielders we have. No doubt we have the creativity in Maddison and Kulusevski, but they're out, so we need to find that. Thomas Frank are enjoying the winning start to life at Tottenham. He said, I'm very happy here. I'm very, very happy. Next, Andre Iraola, Bournemouth manager, has spoke about Tottenham, saying they've added players to an already talented squad. We have to be ready. They're very physical. They play at a high rhythm, and they can also be very good in slower games. It's going to be a very demanding game, very similar that we faced at Anfield. Xavi Simons will wear Tottenham's number 7 shirt, previously worn by legend Heung-min Son. Xavi Simons has spoken about joining Tottenham, saying, "I'm really happy and can't wait to get going. I've been dreaming of this for a long time. It's a great club, and when I met the head coach, I knew straight away it was the right place for me. I will bring flair to the team, but also hard work and discipline. I want to do everything I can to win for the team and also for the fans." Thomas Frank has spoken about Xavi Simons more recently, saying, "I'm really pleased we've brought Xavi in. He is a great addition to the squad. He is still young, however, he already has good experience and over the past few years has played a lot of games at a top level. Xavi has proven his ability to get goals and assists, both from the number 10 position and left wing. He also has a great eye for his teammates in terms of unlocking defences, and I know he will come in and be a good part of the team that is already working hard together." A first senior call-up for Jed Spence, gets his first England call-up for the team. Team Talk report that Xavi Simons will not be the only player Tottenham sign for the summer transfer window shuts. TBR Football report that Savinha is unhappy at his proposed move to Tottenham being blocked by Manchester City's hierarchy and has made his feelings clear to the club. He remains keen to join Spurs and is hoping a transfer can materialise before the window shuts. The Evening Standard report that Tottenham want to sign a winger in addition to Xavi Simons. Marca report that Tottenham are one of the clubs most interested in signing Conor Gallagher before the summer transfer window shuts. Atletico Madrid are bracing themselves for a potential bid from Spurs. And lastly, The Athletic provides the stat that Tottenham midfielder Xavi Simons registered 20 assists across the 23-24 and also 24-25 seasons at Leipzig. There's only 6 fewer than Florian Wirtz over the same period, and Florian Wirtz played 6 more matches. So those are your Tottenham headlines in the last 24 hours. Let's go through and dissect them then, picking out the key ones. Where should we start? I think it's only fair to start with Xavi Simons. What an incredible signing. I mean, it's been a very painful window, very frustrating window. It's just, stressful in so many ways, especially at number 10 search. But it was absolutely worth the wait. I'd absolutely wait again, I suppose, or go through that same pain, stress and frustration. I'd do it again. I'd absolutely do it again to sign Xavi Simons, because Simons is, in my opinion, as good as, if not better than, Gibbs White or Eze. I'm not going to be one of those fans that pretends I'm still not hurt by losing out on Gibbs White in particular, but also Eze. Eze, we dodged a bullet, in my opinion, in terms of he's apparently reportedly ringing up Arsenal even when the deal was going through to Tottenham. Mikel Arteta said that, and I just find that incredibly dodgy. I think, of course, he's a great player, but always wanted Arsenal by the seams of things. And Gibbs White is a shame, but Xavi Simons is a lot younger. He's a more established player in terms of he's played more on the international stage. This is a big signing. This is our playmaker. This is our creator. This is our star. And it's very rare of Tottenham to sign someone in their prime or before their prime coming from a top club. And we've absolutely done that. Xavi Simons from RB Leipzig. Big whopping contract, 5-year deal minimum. Could be 7 years if we opt the extension. So I'm very happy with that. Credit to the club for getting it done. I was worried we'd get to this stage of the window, we'd rush the signing. We know we appeared to have got the signing right, so full credit to the club on that, wearing the number 7 shirt. Iconically worn by Son as well. So honestly, so happy with this. It's really changes the window. We need a lot more than this, but it's really positive. We finally got that creator. Where's he getting to that field now? Where's he play? That's the question, and that's what I really like about him. He's really versatile. It adds quality, it adds depth. Mainly can play in the 10, also can play as a left winger if we, God forbid, don't bring in a left winger. Kobe Mainoo then. I mean, Manchester United, the interesting stance they've taken with this. Mainoo, understandably, wants to get the minutes for his career rather than fight for his place at United. Can't blame him. Look at the state of United at the moment. I think it's highly unlikely. I can't see United letting it go at all at this stage of the window. Let's speak about the centre-back search. Fabrizio Romano commenting that Tottenham could be in talks with Manuel Akanji. Want to make an approach. AC Milan are in talks. So Tottenham want a centre-back for the end of the window, and they're going to make an approach for Man City for Akanji. I think Akanji would be great signing. £15 million. It adds depth and it adds competition. Because at the moment we've got Romero and Van der Ven, and even when Draxler comes back, and Danso, Takai, whoever it may be, there's a golfing class, a golfing difference between. We've got Van der Ven and Romero. We've got Romero for me up there. You've got Van der Ven. Then you've got the centre backs here, and that's not a bad thing. The top centre backs, or a bit fairer would be to say Romero, literally can't see him. He's that high. Van der Ven. But then in the middle kind of ground, you've got your Dragasins, your Dansos, your Takais, and that's the problem. Whereas Akanji will be, pushing, I think, to get in there. And I don't think he's going to start over Romero and Van der Ven, but he offers competition, keeps them on their toes. He's an option if Frank wants to go to a 3. And he provides depth, because as I've said at the moment, we only have 3 fit centre-backs. Now we've let Vušković go on loan, which we'll get on to just next. And I'll tell you what, that swiftly moves us into Vušković. Definitely the best decision for his development for me. To get first-team football, you'd hope at Hamburg, get regular minutes. Again, you'd hope at Hamburg. That could be a good loan to him. I think there's better loans out there, if I'm totally honest with you, but I still think it's a good loan in terms of he can get minutes in attack. It's a lot more, a lot better, I suppose, for him than sitting on the bench for Tottenham and not rotting away, but not getting a lot of minutes. And it's good to get minutes in the legs, minutes in the tank. However, he's now left us short, and I'm surprised and a bit shocked and worried that we'd authorise this without getting a centre-back through the door. Like with the Bournemouth game, we go into it with 3 fit centre-backs. What about if Frank wants to start back 3 and one of them gets injured? He's absolutely tired. I know the couple say, yeah, worst case scenario, Davies can play there or Gray can play there, but we should be in that situation for a club that wants to compete on all 4 fronts. So, happy for Vušković, best for the player, don't know if it's best for the development, but at the same time, everything we've seen from him is good. So I suggest that he's quite, not ready yet. By the way, it's a straight loan, apparently, no buy option or no obligation or anything like that. So that is a good thing. They see him as a real talent, but we don't really know if he's not ready or not. Can only hope that Frank's, or think that Frank's seen something from training, because what we've seen has been very good. That's the thing. You don't know unless you get a chance. It's the only frustration around the Tottenham fan base. Also, we've got good Frank confirming that Dragusin's going to be back 7 to 10 days' time. It's a bit shorter than originally thought. So that's very, very positive. Also, we've got Udogie is back. That's great. For me, he has to work his way though back into the team. Porro should be our starting right back. And on the left-hand side still should be Spence, who I'd argue is actually better as a left back than a right back. Udogie's got to force his way back in the team, a bit like with Dominic Solanke. Why change something that isn't broken? Why change something that's working really well? Udogie at Tottenham has shown some really good signs. I think he's a really good young player. I like him. There is a little bit of fragility there, a little bit of naivety and a little bit of inconsistency, I suppose. So for me, it's absolutely Spence at the moment. Thomas Frank ruling out the Yves Bissouma. He's saying that he's unavailable against Bournemouth. I don't know why, if it's to do with physical fitness, where he couldn't pass the medical, but also, he's expected to go to Galatasaray, but they're worried about his physical condition, which suggests to me he didn't pass his medical. Congratulations to Jed Spence, being called up to the England national team. I mean, it's massive for him. He's worked really hard. He absolutely deserves that. Name me a player right now in the Premier League that's better than 1v1 defender. I'll be waiting, because Spence has been immense. He deserves to be starting a lot of games. Very happy for him to get that contract. It's been a great couple of weeks for him, getting a Tottenham contract, England call up, keeping his place in the team and starting more games than ever. So really happy with him. Savinha, I don't think that'll happen, to be honest with you, at this stage, with City not being able to get Rodrigo in the door by the looks of things. So it'd be great to get Savinha in. I just don't think it's going to happen. There are options out there that I'd, if anything, I think I'd rather Adama Lukman, if I'm totally honest with you, or one-time Semenya, as much as I don't think they're going to happen. But it's really good to hear, like Mirror Football saying, Tottenham not ruled out, signing the second attacking player after Xavi Simons. That's what you want to hear, that type of stuff that is very good and wanted to be active. Paul O'Keefe said another centre-back, another forward. That would be exactly right. And then that, for me, all of a sudden, is an 8, 9 out of 10 window. And for me, a left-back in January would be nice. I don't think we should be relying on Davies as our backup centre-back, but I don't want to be too negative. Also, we've got Frank speaking about Bournemouth Clutch. I like the way Frank speaks, different game plan, kind of every game. We've got Iriola, be respectful of Tottenham. Xavi Simons spoken about, how he picked up the phone to Tottenham. I love how announcement video was absolutely class, the way they went about it. Also, we've got here TBR Football saying Savinha's unhappy. You can't blame him, but it won't be Pep that's standing in his way. It'll be someone in City's hierarchy, you would have thought. And Mark, I talk about Conor Gallagher and Tottenham are interested. Atletico Madrid expect a potential bid from Spurs. We're linked to this player every window. Do you know what? I'll go into window and go, there's players that Tottenham are probably going to be linked with there. Conor Gallagher, Adama Traore, Adrian Rabiot. Have I missed anyone? There's players like that we seem to be linked with every single window, and he's always one of them. Conor Gallagher, every single window, and it's not going to happen. Mark Gay here tends to be quite a regular one as well. And great stats as Xavi Simons, 20 assists across 23, 24, 24, 25 seasons at Leipzig. It's only 6 fewer in the Florian Wirtz, but Florian Wirtz has played 6 more matches, so I'd argue they're fairly similar. Of course, it's hard to say. And that's really good, because look how how much money they play for Xavi Simons. So I think it's a really good deal for a player of Simons' quality, and we finally got the creators. They're absolutely worth the wait. It's been painful, but we got there in the end. And I'd much rather it take longer and bring the right person in for the dressing room who wants to be here, who's right for Frank, right for the system, and right for Tottenham in so many ways. That's your Spurs News Roundup. Hope you're enjoying these new additions introduced from this season. Let me know if you are in the comments below. And if you listen to the end, let me know as well where you're listening from. I always find that really interesting. But like and subscribe if you're new. No better time to subscribe. Daily Tottenham news, videos, podcasts, shorts, you name it, on a range of different things. For now, Comedy Spurs, though.